Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox. That's Ben Olson. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Curtis. Curtis scored a 166 on the June LSAT after 3 months of prep with LSAT Demon Live. His GPA is a 2.0. Wow. I think that's the lowest you can possibly have and graduate.
Wow, Curtis. Okay. Curtis writes, I then applied and was accepted to one of my schools so far with a 75% scholarship. I'm 36 with a fantastic job, a wife, and 2 kids, and do not want to relocate, so I'm specifically looking at part-time hybrid programs. As far as I know, everything about me was in my application, and there isn't anything I can think of to add in an effort to get more funds. Okay, I'm a veteran, though I've exhausted my GI Bill on undergrad, a Purple Heart recipient, and I work in the lower court system in my state. Is there any value to being had in trying to negotiate that scholarship, or with it being this late in the cycle, should I take the money and run?
You could always walk away and reapply next cycle. If you don't think you got the best offer you could possibly get, then you could always just say, nah, that's not good enough and see what they say.
Yeah, and you're in a strong position to do that. You said you have a fantastic job. So being able to walk away is a very strong negotiating position. It would be nice if you had applied to other schools, even if you didn't intend to go, so that you would at least know what other schools are willing to pay you. And then that can make you want more from the school that you're most interested in.
That said, you're getting a 75% scholarship. I mean, how many of those 75% scholarships do they give at that school? Somebody's got to be paying something at that school. We don't know what school you're talking about. So, that could be the very best offer.
That could be the best
anybody.
Offer. And if that's
right?
the only school you're willing to go to, then okay, maybe it is. But you have to think about how good is that offer compared to other offers at that school.
Yeah, maybe that school doesn't give any full rides. On the other hand, some schools give full rides to more than half the class. You might be getting a terrible offer at that school, or you might be getting the very best offer that school ever gives anybody. I don't know. The other part of this story is that with a 2.0 GPA, I mean, that is an extremely low GPA.
Maybe 75% is about as good as you're going to get. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it's possible that they're just like, well, why would we give you a full ride when you did such a poor job in undergrad? We don't, we've got reason to suspect that you're going to struggle here. So that's why we're not giving you a better scholarship. All that said, you can always ask. Don't say the N word though. Don't say negotiate. They don't like the word negotiate. So never call it a negotiation. Don't ask them if they negotiate scholarships. Many of them will have a policy that says we don't negotiate scholarships. That's fine. I'm not negotiating. I just want to talk to you about some concerns that I have.
Yep.
I see here that on your 509 last year, you offered 35% of the class a full ride. What does it take to get one of those scholarships?
Yep.
I'm not negotiating. I'm just asking some questions. I'm sharing my concerns. I'd like to sit down and talk with you about it.
I have a wife and 2 kids at home. I want to make sure I minimize my debt as much as possible. I'm so excited to come to this school, but I also want to make sure it's a prudent decision.
I'm a veteran. I'm a Purple Heart recipient, but I've already used my GI Bill money on undergrad. I'm really concerned about the debt. Is there anything you can do for me? Or can we talk about this? And as long as you don't say negotiate, you might find that you're in a negotiation, because you always are. I mean, the fact that they even give scholarships at all is part of a negotiation. They're charging everybody a different price to go to their school.
Yep.
So they should be willing to talk to you about the price that you're going to have to pay. And they very likely might say no. I mean, that's always eventually, right? If you're representing yourself as well as you can represent yourself, you're going to get to the point where they're going to just say, no, that's it.
Yep.
But until you ask them, you have no idea what possibilities might be there. Thanks, Curtis.
Yeah, thanks. Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.